Okay. This is what I want you to break an agreement. Some of you have made agreements at this point. This unit doesn't make any sense. I haven't seen this stuff before. I just can't do it. If you made that agreement, you're like, I didn't make that agreement, like officially. No, but your brain is kind of thinking that. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna write this down and whatever. You know, I'm not gonna. I know from historically speaking that happens to a lot of students. They just block this one out. They hope it never comes back, but it does, right? And then just like, I'm just gonna do better on the other units. Don't go into that rut, okay? Get out of it. Try to do example after example, and I promise you, you will have a really good understanding at the end. You might not ace every single one, but you can score quite a few marks. If it's a 4-mark question, you can get 3 out of it. Hey, that's 3 marks out of 4 instead of blank, right? So here we go. We're gonna start just reading set notation given a fill diagram, okay? So some of this will be very obvious, some of it not so much, okay? So you have a survey that determined how many families have a PVR, high definition TV, or a cell phone with a data plan. We're gonna call that C. Okay, so you've got your 3 different sets there, and when you have a diagram that is partially filled in, how many sections are there? It gets significantly more, right? So watch this. There's the 6, the 5, the 11, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? So these are all the sections inside, and there's subsections. Don't panic just yet. Okay, what is the 9 here? That's your outlier. Those are families that have neither one. They have none of those aforementioned items. So let's come up with some of the things we can do right away. If you add P, if you just add that, how many families had a PVR in this particular survey? You add up all these, 6, 5, 4, and 5. So 10 and another 10, how many? 20, okay? You've got 20 families that had a PVR. And then we have cell phone in no particular order. How many families had a cell phone plan? 10 plus 9 is 19, plus 11, 30. Okay. Next, we have the yellow highlighter. This set right here. So like the Olympics, right? So you have, let me see, 9 and 9 is 18, plus 10 is 28. All right. Now, what's my universal set? They didn't tell me that, so I have to figure it out. So what you're going to do is this, guys. Careful, don't double count. I'm going to take the 20 here. So this is 20, right? Universal would be 20. This 20 here. And then put your finger over it. You've counted them. What is left to add? Plus 9, plus 10, plus 11. So we have 9 and 11, that's 20, 30, and another 20, that's 50. So based on this, oh, Francis, you found my mistake already? What's the mistake right there? What about the outliers, Mr. Erickson? That's part of the universal. I did that on purpose. Not, right? Outliers. Yeah, good catch, good catch. That means that you guys are awake. So there we go. You could have started with a 28, cover up to 28, then add 9, 6, 5, 11, right? That's the quickest way I know to do it. All right, so let's do these ones. We know these ones. P, C, and H is already done. So this is 20, C is 30, H is 28. Boom. Let's just read the work column. I just put that in case you wanted to. But how about we do that? I think it's important actually. So you know where I got those numbers from, right? 6, 5, 5, 4, and that gave me 20. And then the C, I went 5, 4, 10, 11. That's 30. For H, I just went 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 9, and 10. You like the booklets? Yeah? That was August right there. Last week of August. But it's worth it. I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. I know there's some improvements that need to be made, but you don't have to copy all of this down every time. Meaning. What is it? Families? Families owning a PVR. I know some of it is very straightforward, and so just let's go ahead. Families owning a cell, I'll just call that, and then families owning a TV, or be having a subscription to a TV, maybe TV service. Okay, so now it goes back to what we did before. How do you find n of h naught? N of h naught is n of u, take the universal, subtract the families that have a TV plan. Okay, so you take the 59 minus h is 28, so 31. Families is that off? No, we're good. What's that? We're good, right? Families, how should we say this? Without a TV. That's what that is saying. Not having a TV. You could say families that do not have a TV, without a TV, or whatever. Okay. What does this stand for? Oh my goodness. How many U's are there? Right? There's a U there, union, union. So the union of all sets. Union of all sets. So it just gets a little bit more complex perhaps, but it's really the same thing. How are we going to get that? I'm going to do the exact, you know how I came up with 50 up here? That would have been it. That's the union of all three sets, not including the outliers. But I'm going to redo the work here. So I'm going to go, I'm going to take the 20 up here, put my finger on it, and then I'm just going to add 9, 10, and 11 to it and come up with 50. Okay. So that's all of them without the outlier. Families owning all three. Okay. Still have time. I think we can finish this and then we're going to call it a day. What about this one? Intersection of all three. Can you wrap your head around that? The intersection of all three. Which one would you say is the intersection of all three? 4. It's at the very center. So if you have a fourth highlighter, right? That right there, ladies and gentlemen, that's very important. Okay. That's what they're asking for. It's the center of all three. It's the families that have all three at the same time. So this would be 4. So what's the work going to be? 4? Right? 4 plus 4 plus, no, 4 plus 0 or whatever, but it's just 4. Okay. Families. Oh, Actually, I made a mistake up here. Families who own all three items. And then we're going to change this. How should you rewrite the previous one? That's actually important because I made a mistake there. I apologize because my notes do not follow this. How would you reword that one? The union of all. Yeah. Yes. Does that make sense? If you unite them all. Okay. The word is owning at least one service. Okay. Okay. Or item or whatever. Thank you. The word at least is, I wish I had a fifth highlighter, but I just don't. Okay. I'm limited that way. Okay. What about this one? This one is going to be tough. P, intersection of P and H, but you don't want that. Can you go up to the diagram real quick here? Let's call, do you see these ones here, this sliver here? This one here would be the intersection of these two, right? If you just focus in on this. So let's put an arrow. We call that the intersection between H and C, right there. And then you come over to this side, and what do we call this intersection right here? The intersection between these two, pH. That's going to be key to distinguish. And last but not least, up here, this is intersection of P and C right there. So there are still the two intersections between two sets present, okay? And you will see tomorrow why that we have to make sure we distinguish between them. Okay, so when we go down here, I'm going to zoom out. I think you can see that if I just zoom out as much as I can. But make sure it's straight there. When you want not, you're just going to go universal set minus the intersection of those two. Remember that, please. If you don't want that, you take your universal and you subtract what's P intersect H. We're just going to go up there. It's, what is it? It's not 5, it's actually 5 and 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. Okay, so this intersection is 9. This intersection is 10 and 4. So 10 plus 4 right here. So this is 14. And the intersection up here, 5 and 4, right? This is 9 up here. So I'm going to write the 5 plus 4 underneath so you see where I got that from. And maybe what I will do is I'll take the orange and just make sure that for all three of these, I included that orange center, right? You always combine these two to get that whole sliver, okay? So P and H is right here, which is 9. So we're going to take our universal and subtract 9 from it. And then we just get 50. So 50, how would I, families without, what would you say there? A PVR and a H stands for TV. Sorry, I just have to double check. Okay, families who do not have a PVR and a TV at the same time. Is it packing time? Oh, what is this one here? Before we go, what is this one? If you unite them all and you put a knot on there, the opposite of the union, which is the outliers. Can we just put 9 there? That 9 here, guys, I think it's going to confuse you. If you could, I'm just going to put it way down in the corner here. These are the outliers. And the universal is 59. That goes without saying. Maybe I'll just finish this tomorrow. Thank you, guys.